It's not a burger and fries. Unfortunately, this is what I call the not so happy Happy Meal. Actually, what is inside of this not so happy Happy Meal is a list of the top 10 cold hard truths about living in Las Vegas. If you cannot deal with this list, you actually shouldn't make Las Vegas your home. The list was actually, to me, so important, I didn't want to put it in order of 1 through 10. So that's why I am getting help from the Happy Meal. So in our case, it's the not so happy Happy Meal. All I'm going to do is pick out a topic and we're going to talk about it. So make sure you watch the whole video. All right, I'm going to open it. Not looking. All right. High utility bills. Oh boy, this one just personally grinds my gears. So we have one power company here, one gas company, and one water company. The biggest one is the power company. So a couple of years ago, it was brought to the voters to ask if we wanted to have options in who supplies our power. Well, that measure got defeated. So NV Energy is the power company here, and they have personally a monopoly on it. When they ask for a rate hike, they always get it, no matter what. Recently, in the past couple of years, our rates have climbed 54.2%. 54.2%. That is insane. So they always claim it's something, it's this, it's that, but they have a stranglehold on every single resident in Las Vegas and Henderson in terms of what they can charge. So they usually will raise the rates in the wintertime. They actually just raised the rates another 3.7% at the end of the year. So it was almost around Christmas time. Well, guess what? You really don't see that because your energy bill is lower because you're not running the air conditioner. Well, guess what? Now we're in late springtime and you're going to start seeing the effects. It's all over the news lately and people are just complaining. And there's nothing you can do. You need power, right? So again, if it ever comes up for a vote again, I think it would pass to let choice come into the marketplace, but we simply don't have it. So your gas company is Southwestern Gas or Southwest Gas. They raise rates, but not at the same extreme rate or ask that NV Energy does. They recently got a huge one passed. They're claiming that the rise of natural gas, our costs went up, so we have to pass it on to them. Our bill actually jumped close to $100. We barely use gas. It's all the fees that are attached to in your bill. You'll see the breakdown. It's all the fees. The only gas we use is for cooking and heating in the wintertime, the hot water tank, and our dryer. But other than that, our gas use is actually pretty low. It's just all the extra fees that are attached onto it. But again, utility bills here are outrageous. Now, if you're going to want to do the solar option here in Las Vegas, which I would love to put solar on our home in Summerlin right now. However, when I talk to Tesla and I talk to Sunrun, the two big companies here in town, when you pencil it out for us, the upfront costs just don't make any sense. So if you're going to buy a home and you want solar, I suggest you buy one already that has solar on it. There's plenty of them in town. So the thing you have to look out for when you do that, though, is you have to make sure that it's not a leased system, because that's the worst thing that you can do if you're putting solar on your property. You want to make sure that it is paid off. If you can get the seller to pay that balance off at closing, that is a huge, huge win for you. And then also, you want to make sure that it is the solar company that has the panels on the house already is a good company. Well, guess what? Like I've said before, you found us. We've had to make ourselves knowing of everything solar. I recently just closed a house in Desert Shores. It had solar. It wasn't paid off. And during the negotiations, we got the homeowner to pay the balance. I think it was roughly $13,000, $14,000. They paid that off for my clients before closing. So my clients are getting solar on their home from a fabulous company, and now they have these dirt electric bills. I am very, very envious of them. But hey, if you want our help in finding the right property for you in Vegas, just give us a call, shoot us a text. Yes, you can text that 800 number, or just send us an email. Days, nights, weekends, reach out to us. We have your back when you're moving to Las Vegas. You know what? I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Jason Plattner, and I am the owner and founder of Green Oak Real Estate Advisors, located right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Please leave a comment. I want to know what you think so far about the list. Also, is there any other topics that you want me to do a video on? Please let me know right down below in the comments. Also, give us a like, and please subscribe to the channel. Cookie cutter homes. Let me start off by saying that homes that are built in Las Vegas are actually built very, very well. The biggest complaint is that I always hear from people, especially moving in from out of state, is, Jason, everything looks the same. How can you tell one area of town or one subdivision from another? Listen, they do. That was done by design. They built these homes to look alike. So there's a lot of reasons behind it. But however, the biggest reason for me is that it's cost effective. So when a builder sets out, let's say they build a new subdivision in the northwest part of town, they already have their 5 designs. Then they can easily replicate those same 5 designs, let's say in Summerlin or in Henderson or down in the southwest of Las Vegas. It's all cost-saving measures for these individual builders. Also, I also believe the other reason why everything looks the same is that over the past decade or so, Las Vegas has such huge growth that the demand for building is always on the rise here. So again, it's a cost-effective measure for a builder to easily just replicate, the 6 to 10 models they already have in other parts of town. So it makes everything look the same. Also, your homes are going to be extremely close together here. Some of these new subdivisions, you can actually see the roofs are like this. Or you could literally be standing in your kitchen and you could be looking into the kitchen of your neighbors. You're literally close enough that you could pass a cup of sugar out the window. Actually, the good thing here for you is you found us. We can actually help you find the perfect property in Las Vegas. Write down our contact information. Right now you're going to see our phone number and email pop up. You can actually text that 800 number too. We're here to help you. So if you're actually really planning on moving to Las Vegas, book a strategy call with us. The link is down below in the description. Bad drivers and the traffic in Las Vegas. People drive on the freeways here like they are driving in the Daytona 500. Oh my God, you have to turn yourself into a huge defensive driver and anticipate what the person is going to do next to you. You're going to see it all here. I've seen it where I've been on the 215, which is our outer belt, and it's 4 lanes in most places, and somebody's in the 4th lane. I can sit there and be like, that guy wants to get off at this exit, and they will literally just dart all the way across to get off the freeway. It is insane here. I've seen people try to, when they're getting off at the wrong exit, they literally will throw the car in reverse to stay on the freeway. It's just mind-boggling what is going on here in the terms of the type of drivers. Then we talk about the side streets. The side streets in Las Vegas, the speed limit is actually extremely fast for a side street. So there are a ton of accidents here. You're more than likely, in my opinion, to get into a major accident on the side streets than on the freeways. You just have to pay attention and get used to driving defensively, especially if you're moving from a city where people are actually courteous on the road. Here, they're not so much. Now, the traffic. There was a recent study that found in 2022, the average Las Vegas resident spent 41 hours sitting in traffic in Las Vegas. The major reason being is all the road work that goes on. Listen, since we do not have major weather here, they can work on the roads all year around. So that is what they do. Right now, the major road construction is near the Strip. It's called Tropicana. They are reworking this whole big section of the freeway, and it has caused headache after headache after headache. When you come up to Summerlin, they're actually redoing the Summerlin Parkway right now. So that gets reduced down to one lane in the evening time. Again, that's something you want to avoid if you live in Summerlin. Hopefully that project's going to be done soon, but like anything else, the road construction here seems to drag on forever. Just remember, bad drivers in this town. Again, it feels like you're running in the Daytona 500 when you get behind the wheel of your car in Las Vegas. Bugs. This one just gives me the personal heebie-jeebies, but it's very important. The one thing you're never going to have to worry about here is mosquitoes. You're going to see them, but they're not prevalent. But the one bug I want to talk about today is actually the scorpion. The scorpion here is very, very prevalent. But if it's treated and they're kept at bay. But however, they're venomous. So they're going to be dangerous for infants and toddlers, your pets, the elderly, and people that have underlying health issues. Listen, just recently, literally a couple weeks ago, there was a toddler that got stung by one in his home. He ended up in the hospital on a ventilator for, I believe, about 7 to 10 days. He made a full recovery, but it's just one of those things that you have to be mindful of is the scorpion when you live in Las Vegas. Luckily for you, you found me. I actually take this very, very seriously. I know other agents always harp on me. Why do you always talk about the scorpions and blah, blah, blah? It's not that big of a deal. It actually is. I've kind of turned myself into a quasi-scorpion expert. I know exactly where to start looking on a property to see if they're around or if there's an infestation of them already. I also know where to look in your homes. Listen, you're going to have to hire an exterminator. We have one that comes out once every quarter, keeps them at bay. We do see them from time to time, but they're not in the house. When we first moved into our house in Summerlin, I remember I was out to dinner, extremely important business dinner. My phone starts blowing up. And finally, I look at it, it's my wife. I excuse myself, I actually go into the bathroom and I give her a call. The funny thing is, there was actually a bathroom attendant in this bathroom at the restaurant. She picks up the phone, just hyperventilating, screaming. She found a scorpion in the house. Didn't sting her, but she found it. So the very next day, we've always had an exterminator come out every single quarter and keep them at bay. I just know exactly where to look for them. So when you use us to help you buy or sell in Las Vegas, you get that little extra added layer of security. Another one that really gets under my skin, gas prices. We are always in the top 5 or at number 2 for the highest gas prices in the nation. The reason being is the taxes that are associated with our gas. Since we do not pay state income tax, the state has to generate revenue one way or another, and they use that gas tax as a way to get tax revenue. So anytime there's a ripple in the economy, our gas prices go up. And I'm talking way up. We are never at the national average for a gallon of gas. It drives me insane. Since I drive all the time, I am constantly at the gas station. I have found either that you have to get a Costco or a Sam's Club membership to get gas at a relatively fair price. If you go to anywhere else, you will be paying through the nose for gasoline. So if you cannot stand paying a high rate for gas, Las Vegas is definitely not the place for you to call home. Oh, here's a good one. Vices. You are moving to Las Vegas, Sin City, the adult Disneyland. Your vices here, if you have any, are going to be exposed. So listen, you could have a food vice. Food here, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's prevalent. Anything you want to eat, you are going to be able to get it. So if you want a steak at 2 a.m., guess what? You're going to be able to get it. If you have an alcohol problem, listen, it is everywhere. You can even buy hard alcohol in the grocery stores 24/7. Let's talk about drugs. The first one, marijuana is legal in the state of Nevada. So let's talk about the harder drugs. Again, like any other major city, they're around. But here, they're actually easier to get. So if that's your vice, you will be tempted a lot. So the big one, obviously, is gambling. So gambling is the fabric or the lifeblood of money-making revenue for the state of Nevada and obviously Las Vegas. So if you have a gaming issue, it will definitely be exposed. They have slots here at the gas stations, the grocery stores. They even have little slot parlors set up in strip malls here. So if that is a temptation to you, or any of these vices are a temptation to you, Las Vegas just shouldn't be the place for you to live. Ooh, hot topic. Tourism. You move to Las Vegas or Henderson, every single decision that is made by your local and state government is going to lean heavily in favor of the tourist, not the person that calls Las Vegas or Henderson home. The reason being is 40 plus million people a year come to Las Vegas. They want to cater to them. Perfect example of this is in the fall, we're having a huge F1 race. They're in the process right now of ripping up the roads, the Las Vegas Strip and the roads around it to lay new pavement for the track. And guess what? Some of that money, we're paying for it as locals. The other big issue right now is the A's moving to Las Vegas. If you can't tell already, I am actually a huge sports fan. I went to Ohio State for college, but my pro teams are obviously the Vegas Golden Knights, the New York Giants, and the New York Yankees. But I love sports. I'm actually against the A's moving to Las Vegas. The proposal right now is they want about $500 million of government money, so taxpayer money, to help them build a stadium on the site where the Tropicana Hotel sits right now. So obviously that's going to be torn down and they're going to resurrect or build a stadium for them to play in. There's a lot of backlash right now, and I think a lot of it has to do, in my personal opinion, or my opinion on it, is ownership of the A's. They have no intention whatsoever to put a winning baseball team on the field. They want that stadium on the Strip to attract the tourist coming in and hoping they're going to pack the ballpark. They can come here, but in my opinion, they shouldn't get public money. At the end of the day, they will get something. I can almost guarantee you that. I think the latest proposal was they were offered $200 million. But my biggest thing is ownership of the A's. And I think a lot of people actually agree with me on that. But just keep in mind, every local decision is always going to have tourism in mind, not the residents. All right, now what do we have here? The schools. Las Vegas School District is ranked one of the worst for quality in the nation. It's actually ranked 49th. There was a study that was recently done to prove this. The schools here just are not that good. When you get onto a site where I pull this information, it's called niche.com, it actually rates Clark County School District at a C-. So there's a lot that goes on. I think a lot of it has to do, unfortunately, with politics. So you have the superintendent who also has to work with a school board here, and they always seem to be fighting. I've lived in Las Vegas since 2007, and we've gone through a couple of superintendents at that time, or since I've been here, and it's always the same thing you see on the news. It's just the superintendent wants to take the school district in one direction, and that school board always fights them. Again, it's just my opinion. But however, our local NBC station here actually does a segment called Crisis in the Classroom on every single newscast. It's actually on their website. I'm showing it to you right here. And, it's bad. When they're covering it every single night, the school systems just aren't up to par, in my opinion. So how do you get around this? Well, there's two ways. The first one is there are plenty of private schools that are really, really good in and around Las Vegas. So we live in Summerlin. I actually have a 5-year-old, and we actually send him to half-day private school and the other half-day public school. We did this for a variety of reasons. We wanted him to get socialized and used to going to school, but we also wanted to test the system out for ourselves. And we found that since we were very hands-on with our son, especially in the public school, anytime we had a question, issue, comment, problem, his teachers were very receptive to us. And we asked, they did it. And we always had talks about this and that. And we were actually very pleased with the results. He's going into kindergarten this coming fall, and he can read already. I mean, it's pretty darn impressive. So we are very happy with that aspect. Now, as he ages, he will probably end up in a private school here in town. It's just inevitable. But again, do your research. Use the site that I'm giving you the information. It's called niche.com. Since I have a real estate license, I cannot steer you in one way or another in terms of where the best school is in town. I can give you websites like I'm doing right now. Use that website and do your research. We're also here to help you with that. So our contact information's popping up right now on the screen. Call us, shoot us a text. Yes, you can text that 800 number, or just send us an email. You can actually book a strategy call with us. The link is down below in the video's description. We're here to help you in making the right choices for you. Ooh, healthcare. So when it comes to healthcare in Las Vegas, it's really not that good. And when I say not that good, I'm talking about specialty healthcare. The ongoing joke here, let's say, God forbid, you have cancer. People ask you, who's the best cancer doctor in town? And people will always tell you the airport, so you can get out of here and find the proper healthcare in a different state. And guess what? I have to agree with that one right there. I've done so many deals with local doctors in town, some just general doctors all the way up to big time surgeons in town. And they all say the same thing. If I got seriously sick, I would leave this city. The reason being is, one, we're just not attracting those specialty doctors. Your specialty surgeons, your specialty cancer doctors and whatnot, they are working on it, but they're just not coming here. The other reason, or that healthcare is bad here, it is extremely hard, one, to find a good quality general doctor here. And then also, once you get into it, the biggest complaint you're going to see is when you start looking at reviews of these doctors are that they never call you back. It's extremely hard to get an appointment. So again, you're going to have to hunt around for a very, very good general doctor for yourself. But if you do get seriously sick, I would take everybody's advice and leave town to find the care that you need. And we have one more in the not so happy meal. And that is going to be the weather in Las Vegas. Listen, you're moving to the desert. You are now living in the desert. It is hot here. It just blows my mind when people start complaining about the heat. Listen, it's going to be 90 plus degrees starting about mid-May all the way to Halloween. And in the dog days of summer, it's going to be in the triple digits during the day. And at night, guess what? It's still going to be 90 degrees. If you have a pool in your backyard, it is going to feel like getting into a hot tub during the summertime. You're never going to have to use your heater, though. Like personally, our pool stays around 90 to 95 degrees. And I personally like it. Most people don't. But it's hot here. It's just part of living in the desert. So if you cannot handle hot, warm weather every single day for most of the year, then Las Vegas is definitely not the place for you to call home. So there you have it. My top 10 reasons that you should not move to Las Vegas, Nevada. If you enjoyed what I shared with you today with the Not So Happy Meal demonstration, please leave a comment. Also, tell me what you want to see in the next video. Also, leave us a like, subscribe to the channel. And if you're moving to Las Vegas, book a strategy call with us. We would love to help you find your home in Las Vegas.